Welcome to the Unraveling the Scriptures channel. The Book of Enoch is one of the most enigmatic and fascinating religious texts from antiquity, filled with prophecies, revelations, and supernatural accounts involving angels, giants, and even aliens. This astonishing work has led many to believe that it was excluded from the Bible to hide mystical secrets related to God's creation of the world. But is this true? Did God really cause the Book of Enoch to disappear for so long to prevent its secrets from being revealed to humanity? Perhaps the Book of Enoch is the most mysterious among the texts associated with the sacred scriptures. Although it is not part of the Bible as we know it today, it is mentioned about 2 to 3 times in the New Testament and contains themes that resonate with topics addressed in the Old Testament, but with a unique richness of detail. In recent years, this work has attracted the attention of millions of people around the world, and that's what we'll be discussing in this video. We'll explore why the Book of Enoch is so forbidden and often overlooked by those who consider themselves scholars. So, I ask you to leave your likes, comment, and join me in this fantastic story, the Book of Enoch, the most forbidden subject of the Bible. For those who may not yet know the story of the Prophet Enoch in the sacred scriptures, Enoch was the 7th man of the 7th generation, a direct descendant of Adam. He is mentioned in the Bible as the 7th from Adam and is recognized as the first of all prophets, the precursor of the sacred scriptures. Enoch was a unique man in his time, standing out for his deep communion with the Almighty God, the creator of heaven and earth. Such was his connection with God that at a certain point, God decided to take Enoch alive from the earth to his kingdom, without him having to experience death. Enoch therefore was taken from the earth by God himself to live by his side. God brought him to his kingdom, making Enoch from the Old Testament one of the few men who, according to tradition, remains alive to this day, having knowledge of all the events that have unfolded over the centuries and the present days. Now, speaking about the content of the Book of Enoch, it largely reflects the same account found in the book of Genesis, specifically chapters 6 through 9. The Book of Enoch addresses one of the most intriguing and mysterious themes of the sacred scriptures, the account in Genesis 6, where it is described that the sons of God, who are believed to be angels, united with the daughters of men. From this union were born colossal beings, the giants, biblically known as the Nephilim, a theme that is also extensively explored in the Book of Enoch. Additionally, this is the oldest Jewish interpretation and perspective of all. There is no earlier view than this. The ancient Jews of the time of Christ, and even earlier periods, believed in this perspective and considered the Book of Enoch an integral part of their sacred content. The oldest written version of the Book of Enoch, recorded to this day, is found among the Dead Sea Scrolls. These scrolls also contain the oldest records of the Old Testament of the Bible itself. This means that, in terms of writing and manuscripts found, the Book of Enoch stands on equal footing with the Bible. It was part of the sacred canon of antiquity, dating to about 200 years before Christ, that is, approximately 2,200 years ago. The Book of Enoch, in addition to narrating the story of the fallen angels, the Watchers, and the giants, also contains a variety of apocalyptic prophecies that have strong parallels with the Book of Revelation. If you've read the Book of Enoch and the Book of Revelation, you've likely noticed the striking similarities between these two ancient texts. One particularly noteworthy curiosity is the resemblance between chapters 30 to 39 and even chapters 40 to 44 of the Book of Enoch, with chapters 1 to 15 and chapters 15 to 19 of the Book of Revelation. Those who read both the Book of Enoch and Revelation in the Holy Bible often encounter these remarkable similarities. What makes this even more intriguing is the fact that the Book of Enoch was written in its most recent version about 200 to 300 years before the Book of Revelation was composed, that is, before the revelations to the Apostle John on the island of Patmos. These coincidences lead many scholars and readers to reflect on the deep connection between these apocalyptic texts. The Book of Enoch contains content that many consider similar to that of Revelation, despite having been written about 200 to 300 years before it. This revelation surprises some biblical readers when they come across the Book of Enoch, attributed to the Prophet Enoch. The last known copy of this book was written in the Ge'ez language in Ethiopia, where it has been preserved and is considered a sacred book by Ethiopian Christians and the ancient Ethiopian Orthodox Church. In Ethiopia, the Book of Enoch is widely read and revered. Additionally, it was found among the Dead Sea Scrolls, both in Hebrew and Aramaic, which has drawn the attention of scholars and curious minds around the world due to its intriguing and ancient content. A topic that has sparked significant controversy and debate in the theological world and among scholars of the sacred scriptures is the content of the Book of Enoch. There is a great division of opinions. While many agree on its relevance, others completely disagree. I respect both perspectives, especially since I have read and analyzed the Book of Enoch in its ancient languages, using biblical hermeneutics to interpret it. Through this process, I have come to recognize the value that the Book of Enoch can offer for understanding the Holy Bible. What truly stands out is the fact that the Book of Enoch is considered by some to be a lost book of the sacred scriptures, a text that, in the final councils for the formation of the biblical canon, was not included. Like other books mentioned in the Bible itself, the Book of Enoch is not part of the current canon of 66 books, which raises debates about its inclusion and importance. The Book of Enoch is one of the ancient texts that many believe should have been included in the biblical canon, perhaps at the end of the Old Testament or the beginning of the New Testament. The sacred scriptures reference the Book of Enoch in some of their books, and the most famous citation is found in the Epistle of Jude. When Jude Thaddeus wrote his epistle, he had clearly read the Book of Enoch and literally transcribed a passage from it. Specifically, in chapter 1, verses 14 and 15 of the Epistle of Jude, we see a direct quotation from the second chapter of the Book of Enoch. Let's follow along with the reading. Now Enoch the seventh from Adam prophesied about these men also, saying, Behold, the Lord comes with 10,000s of his saints, to execute judgment on all, to convict all who are ungodly among them of all their ungodly deeds which they have committed in an ungodly way, and of all the harsh things which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. Jude 1:14-15. These verses in Jude are clearly based on the second chapter of the Book of Enoch. The writer of the epistle directly refers to Enoch, making it evident that he was quoting the prophet and the text that bears his name. This reinforces the significance the Book of Enoch had in certain circles and the influence it exerted on the writers of the New Testament. The Book of Enoch recounts the second angelic fall, which occurred during the days of Jared, Enoch's father. At that time, 200 fallen angels, known as the Watchers, made a pact swearing to fulfill their rebellious desires against God with the intention of enraging him. These 200 angels took human women as wives, choosing them according to their desires, in defiance of the eternal Father, the Almighty God. The union between the fallen angels and human women resulted in the birth of giants, enormous beings who infested the world. Among these giants were different races that eventually destroyed the earth and fell into cannibalism. Additionally, the Book of Enoch describes how the fallen angels taught humanity various occult and mystical practices. They instructed men and women in the arts of witchcraft, sorcery, necromancy, and all types of mystical arts that are still known in the world, both in ancient times and today. These teachings were imparted out of pure envy and hatred for humans, but above all out of hatred for God. The corruption spread by the fallen angels not only brought destruction to the earth, but also distanced humanity from the Creator. The giants mentioned in the Bible and the Book of Enoch were monstrous beings that reached heights of approximately 16 to 20 feet. Even after the flood, these giants reappeared, although they were in the process of extinction. According to some rabbinic accounts, a small number of these giants managed to survive the flood by clinging to tree trunks and enduring the waters due to their immense strength and resistance, far superior to that of an ordinary human. This survival allowed them to reappear after the flood. Other accounts suggest that the fallen angels once again took human women as wives, generating a new and final generation of giants. These giants then tormented significant biblical figures such as Joshua, Moses, and David during the conquest of the Promised Land, the land of Israel. They became formidable obstacles to the people of Israel, challenging the fulfillment of God's promises. However, it would be a mistake to think that the giants inhabited only the land of Canaan. They were spread throughout the Middle East, including Mesopotamia, and were also present in Egypt, Africa, Asia, and various other regions of the world, such as India and even the Americas. Now I want to know your thoughts and perspective on the Book of Enoch. Have you read the Book of Enoch? Have you noticed the similarities between the Book of Revelation and the Book of Enoch? And what about the biblical references to the Book of Enoch, such as the one we find in the Epistle of Jude, which directly references the text of Enoch? With that said, may you all stay with God, and I'll see you soon.